Got to get fired up.
That's right, man. I'm outside right now, so.
Nice. All right. I think, what's up, everybody? I believe that we are live.
Woo!
I am fired up today. Yeah, I am absolutely freaking stoked today, as usual, right? I feel like I'm always fired up on all the calls that I get on. Let's make sure that we are live. Yep, looks good. If you jump on, give me a like, a heart, say what's up, drop a note, drop a comment below. And I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm very excited to have someone who I've known for several years now. I've referred a lot of clients over to him. I've seen his work, firsthand. Super excited to have him talk about something that is becoming almost a necessity to include in your agency these days. It's not quite there, but it's almost a necessity, and it's certainly a freaking luxury. It makes your whole life easier. And we're going to be talking today about building out your own appointment setting team with the legendary, the man, Mr. James King Baskin. James, you want to introduce yourself, bro?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is James King Baskin, and I am the founder of Outsource Kings. We have an appointment setting agency, work with a variety of niches and industries. We have a book out as well, and we have a coaching program on how to bring a call center in-house for your business.
Beautiful. I love it. Oh, we got Kemet. What's up, Kemet? He says, my man, James. Awesome. Well, today, if I understand correctly, right, James, he's got a full-blown presentation for us. I love when we do this, but we're going to be digging deep into some content, some actionable items, some really, really useful strategies that you can go out and implement immediately. And I say we just hop right in, man. What do you think? Ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it, man.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to you, man, and let's get rocking.
Cool, man. So yeah, any questions? I don't have Facebook.
I'll be monitoring questions. So guys, if you have questions, make sure you ask. I'll be watching the questions and making sure that everything gets answered. So man, I'm fired up. This is such an important part of the game these days. Depending on where you utilize and how the appointment setters, but my gosh, it can be such huge leverage when you have an appointment setting team that you can tell your client, hey, I'm going to book the leads for you. Let's rock and roll. Let's get out.
Man. It's a value add. And when I say value add, I don't mean it just in the word of value. I actually mean in the words of money. If you have an appointment setter in your business, you can instantly raise the price of your service. We see some people raise the price of their service up to $1,500 to $2,000 just by adding this value. That's a per month, by the way. So today what I'm going to be discussing is my Appointment Setter Academy, and this is going to include how to hire and train an appointment setter. I'm going to go through the overview of what we have inside of our program. Obviously, this is a much high level overview and the time span that I have. And so I want to cover a bunch of stuff, help answer any questions as well. So this is take this for a grain of salt. This is more for our course, but what I'm going to cover today is our recruitment, our training process, implementation and monitoring, performance management, feedback review, and our assessment and action plan. So that's gonna be the timeline for today. And so as you can see here, our overview for today's training including that as well. So who am I and why am I speaking here with Nick? How did I get started in all of this? So I want to take you guys back just about shy of 3 to 4 years ago. I was an insurance agent. I was running Facebook ads with a good friend of ours, Mr. Bobby Stocks. And he was running my ads, and we were running ads for both Medicare and final expense life insurance. And it was an awesome relationship arrangement we had. I would spend the ad spend. I would give him proof posts because he knew that I could sell, and he would promote that to his audience, and he would get clients as a marketer for the insurance industry. And so what was happening 3 years ago, that's a little bit different today, actually a lot different. Facebook ads, crazy targeting. We could target people with diabetes. We could target people that were overweight, all kinds of stuff you can't do nowadays. I was getting 50 cents to $1 leads. I meant to go to this slide. And sounds amazing, right? If you're a marketer and you're getting 50 cent to $1 leads long form, that's an amazing result. From an insurance agent, it was a pain and frustration. I did not have the time to call these leads. I had tried to hire appointment setters, actually companies to call my leads. And there's always something like I wasn't in control of something part or some aspect of it. And I wanted to bring it in-house. And so one of the things I started doing And this is something that even if you don't have ads on right now, you can do in your business, is hiring your first cold caller. Now, I know this is an appointment setter and talking about inbound leads and things like that, but I don't want to leave out the fact about hiring a cold caller for prospecting. I think it's something super underutilized for clients. And at one point, I had about 10 people working for me. They were calling leads all at once. I had no systems. I had no processes. As quick as I built a team, overnight, they would disappear from lack of systems and lack of knowing what I'm doing. I like to be transparent. I've built something before. I've had it collapse on me as well. So I'm put here. If I look back, then people asked me for help on this because I was building teams. And over the past couple of years, I've went down this path of my experience, my pain, my struggle from the insurance experience of working with over a couple hundred different companies in different industries, companies, different agencies. And first niche that we were working with was mortgage. I thought I was going to work with final expense agents, and I did not get hired by any final expense agents. I got hired by mortgage. I needed money, started working with mortgage people, started going to mortgage conferences. Real estate agents shortly followed, and then followed by contractors. So I love this picture. What do you think, Nick?
I think that's the definition of everybody on this call and all marketers in general, especially because I've had my team on the phone with Pinterest ads and fucking TikTok and all this in the last week alone, so I get it.
Yep. Yeah. My team always will message me, focus. That's like our thing. So anyone that's looking to hire.
And actually, really quick, I want to jump in as you're going in there. One, this is not a side project. And two, I just want to make utmost clarity what we're talking about here. So when he says appointment setters, there's multiple different ways that you can utilize this. You can have an appointment setter on the front end who's booking appointments with potential clients for your agency. And you can also have appointment setters on the back end. So let's say that you run an HVAC company and you want to confirm appointments for the HVAC company to go talk about installs with the homeowner, and they can actually handle that as well. So we're going to be going over, I think, both of these right now. James, I think there's a huge opportunity in both. Both having an appointment center on the front end and the back end. I think that, while I have appointment centers in the front end, I think it's super, super powerful. I also really want you guys to be thinking about the appointment centers on the back end, because as we all know, the lead handlers are the biggest enemy of all of us. They're the bane of my existence. Old Susie, the fucking, what do you call it? Front desk.
Making $40K a year plus benefits.
Yeah. Asshole has cost me so much money, and our doctors, not just everyone. So I just want to make sure very clear that this is not just outbound in regards to setting appointments for your own agency to close more clients. This is also helping your clients get their appointments booked. Mm-hmm. And when he is saying that you can increase your price point by $1,500 a month, it's because you're telling your client you have a call center, and this is your call center that is booking appointments for them. And that $1,500 a month or $2,000 a month, that's an extra $20,000 to $24,000 a year that you can utilize. And we're going to talk today about how you can fulfill that for a fraction of the price. So I just wanted to clarify that, and back to you, my man.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the main part of this presentation is going to focus on you, the agency owner, generating leads and teaching someone how to call them. I want to, get clear of that. The cold caller part, that is something they can do in addition, but the main focus for today's call is going to be you generating leads and having someone call that, and everything from 0 to 100 and how you can integrate that. So first and foremost, I can speak 100% about hiring people, losing good employees because of my attitude as an employer. I can speak about making tons of mistakes with employees, not trusting people, having people quit on me because of my behavior and action. And, I'm being transparent with that because I don't want anyone to sit here and think, oh man, James hired his first person and it worked out perfectly. It's not the case. And so I've also been the person that's traveling the whole world down in South America, ignoring my responsibilities a couple of years ago, and then having people in my business tell me, hey, you're forgetting about your business. So when I say that, I'm saying that because when you are solopreneur, it's just you and your agency. You're the single agency owner. You've got a bunch of clients. You're probably really busy. Now you're getting ready to outsource and you're getting ready to hire someone. This actually will take more time to begin in because you're going to be spending time training someone in your business to fulfill a role. So I really want to set that, I saw people putting questions on the post, and like, if they're ready for it, if they're not ready for it, if the real you're ready for it kind of like mindset is that you have the time to dedicate to training someone. This isn't someone like you just, you know, send a bunch of Loom videos and forget about it. Loom videos are definitely involved in it, but this isn't something like you just move on from. So I put this here because I want people to ask themselves, do you have the time and resources available to work extra, teaching someone from the ground up how to do these tasks and create plus build SOPs with this person? SOPs, I love the word. It's probably been a couple of years now since it was getting thrown around left and right. Right now, the buzzword is database reactivation. Reactivation is the buzzword right now, 2021. SOPs was like 2019, 2020. SOPs, I love custom SOPs because each person's business is unique. And when you build an appointment setter team, your SOPs are going to be unique for your process and your clients. So if that makes sense for you guys in your business and you can handle this, an appointment setter is ready and will change your business. And I'm going to show you how to do that, how to hire, all that stuff. And be prepared to work longer hours in the beginning because you are going to be a boss. This person is going to have questions. They are going to ask you things that you weren't ready for. And so,
yeah, and that's that. I want to jump in really quick. That's
yeah,
the all employees, and that's everybody needs to be prepared. When you start hiring on employees, I was talking with a client about this earlier. There's nothing more difficult than managing humans because humans are illogical, they're insane. And, to quote Jordan Peterson, one of my all-time favorite thinkers, it's a bloody fucking miracle when you walk outside that society functions as well as it does with how uncoordinated everything is. But with all that being said, it's the most gratifying thing you can do, and nothing will open up more time than if you install and bring people on properly, which we're talking about. And I love, James, thank you for being one of the fresh faces out there that isn't coming in here and is like, oh, well, I'm going to show you how to do this with no work whatsoever, and it's going to be the easiest thing in the world. No, I don't act like that. I don't talk like that. So I love it. But when you do train properly and you coach properly, it opens up your time in ways that you never imagined. It's the only way to gain true autonomy to work on your business.
yep. And I can, and just to kind of go off what Nick's saying as well, just to give some more insight. I'm visiting family right now, family and long-term friends for the month of June. I have been to the beach. I'm going to the mountains tomorrow on Thursday, and all of my clients' leads are getting called. Appointments are getting booked. We're following up with leads from 2019 that are getting put on my calendar. My team is creating presentations for our clients every single client call and weekly for our students that we work with. And all of that is being managed for me. And I can tell you from running a business, since I've really truly started, I've been in this now for 2 years, 3 years, I've been outsourcing. The first year was just all over the place. I've really been doing this, honing my skills at this, especially for 2 years. We've had an employee retention rate of over a year per employee. And I'm really, really proud of that result. We just said goodbye to an employee today. I tell you guys that because it was awesome. Our whole team wished her the best of luck. She's hopefully getting a job in America in the next couple of years, which I'm really excited about her. She's going from the Philippines to America, which is an instant pay increase and everything. And so it's like, that's how you should feel about your employees because they make your life better. And when they start to grow in their life, we should get excited about them. I've heard Gary Vee talk about that, with stuff and like employees. And, sometimes it's just our turn and we get to be a part of that journey. So I want to talk about how to know if you need an appointment setter. I kind of talked about it just early on, starting off. If you have raw data, everyone talks about D7, things like that. D7, I think, is a whole nother story. I don't want to get into too much, but if you have a list and that list has potential people on it, but you know yourself and you're not going to call 100 to 200 people a day because you don't want to bash your head against the wall, which I used to do that. You don't feel like sitting on a triple line dialer and sit on and ring, 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 ring as it's calling multiple people. Cold callers for you, and that can be in the form of an appointment setter. So that's all I'm going to talk about that with outbound cold calling for your agency. But primary focus for today will be around agency owners who are generating leads. I want to talk about the source and how much the source matters. I think this is not talked about enough. There's too many there's not enough discrimination going on with leads. Short form leads are being put up there against Facebook and YouTube, long form leads. And that's just not fair to our agency owners out there that are creating quality leads. So quality and source matters a lot. What's more important than that, believe it or not, is the speed of how fast you call a lead and the number of times that you call a lead. Consistently over the past 2 to 3 years, we have called every one of our clients' leads under 5 minutes or less during normal business hours. This is something that I've never really ever even said out loud, something that I've looked at the data, made sure that I talked to my team before I even started talking about this. We call each lead up to 10 times for our clients right now. And so if you have your own in-house appointment setter, you can go over that if you want. I guarantee you, most people on this call, if you don't even have an appointment setter, your clients are calling 1 to 2 times tops, if they're even calling at all. And I, without a shadow of a doubt, I feel confident saying this, the time frame that they call is when they get a chance to it. Oh, we usually get to the leads when we get a chance. Well, when's that? Usually when we come in and we take care of a couple other things. So there really is no time frame. So speed is very important. You see all these people posting studies. I see all these people that share the same thing, calling leads within the first 30 seconds and this and that. And, you know, we on average make 3,000 to 5,000 phone calls a week. This is something that we've consistently done. Some weeks might be even higher than others. In 1 year alone, we called 10,000 mortgage leads for all of our clients. So this is something that we do consistently. I would never sit here and say, you know, we're calling leads in 30 seconds or less. I think those are studies that people share around and are good for coffee talk and business and entrepreneurial presentations, but it's not realistic. The realistic entrepreneur is not calling their leads at all if their clients aren't calling their leads at all. And if they are calling their leads, it's a couple hours later, it's the morning when they get in, or it's the end of the day when they're getting ready to leave is when they call. So I want to talk a little bit about agency owners and generating leads and what that looks like. And on the next slide, I think I have some more stuff with this. So agency owners are generating leads. Their clients don't call their leads, and then the clients say they suck. You know, some of this included in the presentation title today, and the words may look different. They may say, hey, this is going really good. We just don't have time to handle all these leads. We're overloaded right now. We're going to follow up with these people, and then we'll be in touch. The conversation may look like that also. So what ends up happening is, and what we've probably seen, there's no accountability. No accountability. I know. Welcome to 2021. Automation was a great help for a while. I'm a fan of automation. I also think automation makes marketers lazy. I've said that before. I'll say it again. Automation makes marketers lazy, and people are smart, and I'll get into that as we go along. And so our clients have told us variety of amount of additional appointments on top of their Go High Level automation. We add around 10 to 20% extra booked appointments. So what's important? Benefits of having an appointment setter and proper SOPs in your business. So I'm giving you guys the high level overview, and then I'm going to go into the whole finding and hiring process in just a moment. So fast lead response time. As I mentioned, we have been calling under 5 minutes or less for the past 2 years, managing sometimes at some points 30 plus clients. That includes also if they have additional clients with us. So it could be even more than that at times. We've booked appointments for your clients, being what you're all here for. The magic that occurs when someone other than you, believe it or not, I've talked to countless marketers that are telling me they're calling their clients leads, and I can't even think about what a distraction that is from what they're supposed to be working on when they're calling their leads because they want to retain the client. So you guys generate great leads in your business, precious leads as I call them here, and they're inside your high level, wherever they are, and you want to increase the client retention. That is one of the benefits that this is going to bring. Client retention. Clients are going to stay longer when you add more value to the perceived service. So I mentioned earlier about $1,000 to $1,500 upsell. This is an upsell to your clients. You tell your clients, oh, we have appointment setters now, or we have an in-house call center and we can call your leads for you. Here's the cost. And many of our done for you clients, we do this. They go and I don't like to use the word white label, but they go and offer this to their clients, tell them they have a call center team now or a call center company. Instantly, they're able to raise their price Doesn't cost them anything for our service. They break even on it or they make money. So what we've seen over the years, and I love to talk about this, especially, man. Nik's been in the game a while. As Nik mentioned, Nik last year and the year before, huge referral partner of ours, sending clients from his mastermind and other students as well. And he's seen this, and I know he might have something he wants to say about this. So when I first started this, if you could generate cheap leads and a lot of leads, you were like the online guru. You were the man. You could generate cheap long form leads. You were the man, especially high quality back in the day. What happened? The lead quality diminished in some markets. Makes sense. You've got 20 different people that bought the same course and they're running the same ad copy in the same area. Results are going to be affected. And so lead quality diminished in some markets, and you had to work the leads harder. You had to work twice as hard to get half the result in some industries. Marketers added automation. This helped a lot until it made people lazy. And like I said, I'm going to say it again, and I will put automation and appointment setters all day long against just automation and AI. I'll hold my word on that. Auto booked appointments was awesome when it first happened. However, you talk about Jordan Peterson, and we love to study human psychology. Humans are smart. Your market is sophisticated. Many can tell when they are receiving automated text and emails. You know, the same automation reminders going out, people know. It becomes like static, like noise. They just see it, oh, ignore it. Phone call and SMS appointment setters. So when I talk about appointment setters, I will talk loosely about SMS. We are doing this right now in-house for our clients, a couple clients. Last month alone, we set an additional 10 appointments without our client ever texting the people. We texted them on behalf of our clients. So we're now using appointment setters, and in the downtime, we're having them text leads and actually have a human conversation through their Go High Level. We'll fill the human void of automation. Call reminders. So every client that we work with, we do call reminders for all of their appointments. Call reminders keep prospects ready and excited for their call. Think about this, anyone that's listening, and I can't see how many people we have on there right now, but if you had an appointment for your client and someone called that appointment beforehand to remind them, hey, in 15 minutes, your appointment with Dr. Johnson is about ready to start on Zoom. I'm saying Zoom loosely. Or, hey, just a reminder, Dr. Johnson's appointment is with you today at 3 o'clock. You're doing this at 9 a.m. because the people have to travel. And we're located over here at 123 Main Street. I want to make sure that you are able to make it today. Dr. Johnson runs a busy schedule. Is there any reason why you wouldn't be able to make today's appointment? No, we're all set. Okay, well, we're located right across the street from UPS. These are things that we've done with our clients, even given geographical locations to help people find physical locations. Something that's huge. Like, think about if a prospect never made it into the appointment and they actually were driving and they couldn't find it. Maybe because it's a small office, given actual landmarks.
It happens all the time. And I didn't know that you were going to put this slide in here. And it's funny because especially in the mastermind, but also, inside the Crusader programs, and really just to everyone who will listen, I strongly believe that automations and purely automation is getting to a point where it can almost harm the situation. I have personally witnessed this. Like I said, I've been doing this for a while now, or like fucking 6 years, right? I personally witnessed show rates fall off a cliff from automations. In fact, in the last 6 months alone, I took our show rate for our inbound medical doctor leads from 50% to 70% by putting out an appointment setter who calls and confirms the calls early on. And a 20% increase in show rate for me is 40% more schedules. And when I'm rocking 150 to 200 schedules, I mean, we're talking 30 grand, 40 grand a month in new business that came from increasing that. So I am actually obsessive with this concept of introducing a human element. I also think that, like you said, you've got the human void there. And I think that's a great term because especially with everything that's happened the past year and a half, like we know when it's automated, they ignore it. It's automation blindness. It's just like banner blindness that happened in the early 2000s, right? Or the late 2000s when people got used to the banner ads. Now same thing's happening with automations. Now, don't take this as me saying get rid of all your automation. They still come into play, but you want to use a mix and match. And to take it a little bit further on the texting side of things, in my opinion, the new sale is through text, and it's going to get bigger. Now, I'm not saying that there's a diminished out or issue with, or you shouldn't be focused on outbound dials, but you need to learn how to sell via text message as well. And there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. If you want to see the wrong way, just watch any of your clients interact at all and go high level and just let them, be themselves. Right. So anyways, I just want to jump on this. I could not agree more with this slide. It's something I talk about all the time, automation blindness, and we've got to have that human interaction to help fill the void. I love the human void. I'm going to steal that term, to be honest with you, but I think that's great. I agree.
Awesome.
Yep.
So getting into the meat and potatoes today, where do I find or how do I outsource? For today's topic, I want to stick to onlinejobs.ph. You've probably heard it before. Some people may say it doesn't even work. We just brought on a client in our coaching program, and in less than 3 weeks, he's already got an appointment setter that's also a project manager for his company that's working inside of his business, and he's already found success. We coached him the whole way through from start to where he's at now. And now he's in the second week working with his appointment setter, all from onlinejobs.ph. I do have an affiliate link. If anyone wants that, I will actually make available a 15 to 30 minute strategy call with that. If you use my affiliate link, that's all I'm going to say on that. And then something else that I will talk very, 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 very briefly is we are using job posts and ads on Facebook. This is something that I believe will be the future, and I will do an additional training when I get more insight and more information on this that I actually feel confident enough to present. I'm definitely going to hit Nik up because this is something that I think will be huge. This will be where you can actually run ads to get employees and how to do this. This is something we're doing with our beta students right now. However, it isn't going to be the focus of today's presentation. I want to talk about stuff that I have done for 2 to 3 years versus stuff I'm just testing right now. So for today, we're going to be focusing on onlinejobs.ph. Onlinejobs.ph is a market forum where Filipinos can post their jobs that they were looking for, and you can find people. I have hired and fired, I want to say thousands. It may not be that high, but it's up there. Very, very high up there. I have a lot of experience working with people in the Philippines. I have a godson in the Philippines. I was scheduled to go there in June. I plan to live there for 3 to 6 months when I get there. So I've seen a lot of the issues. Myself, I had lack of processes early on. I have processes now. You can use that as experience for yourself so you don't have to make the same mistakes. And I had no SOPs, as I mentioned, and no idea how to run my day-to-day operations. So do not get hung up on where to go or what is the best place to find people. I say go wide. Go wide before you go super deep. Go wide. So when I say that with online jobs, go wide with your searches. One search can bring multiple potential clients. I never have used Facebook groups. I know some people use Facebook groups. That is not the case for me. I like to go to a paid source, and I like to be in control. And I'm going to show you how to do a job post in just a second. So for our job post, this is going to be inside of the online jobs account. I recommend either the $67 or $97 a month plan. As I said earlier, I do have an affiliate thing if you are interested in that. And with the job post, you will need the paid plan in order to do this. What I like about paid programs is the barrier of entry. A lot of other people want to do things for free. If you actually pay for things in your business, it narrows down your competition level. A lot of people know about online jobs. I think a lot of people don't know how to properly use it. You may even have an account right now in online jobs you're paying for, and you don't even know what you're doing. I've been there too. Job post is huge. So I'm going to run through a sample job post that I made just for this group. Very, very simple that can be flexible for a lot of people. You want to be clear with your job post. I think a lot of things in life, especially with work, clients, employees, hiring people, whatever it is, all starts with not getting clear and setting a proper expectation with everyone. So we want to be clear with our job post and what we say and with our words. Your job post should be based on what your needs are and what can be completed for you now. So completely can be completed now. You want to list the software that will be needed for candidates to apply, and this will ensure that you find the right people. And I'll go into the software on a separate slide. So here's my title for an appointment setter sample job post. Now, this can be, you can add a whole bunch of different variety. I didn't make it too fancy. I made it kind of vanilla. However, when you're making a job post, think about the subject line almost like an ad copy aspect. So for our subject line, I put market and agency appointment setter for a growing company. Nothing crazy, nothing like all-star appointment setter ready to take it to the moon. For me, I want to keep it, just very neutral. However, ad copy will start to gather more eyes on your job post. More eyes equals more candidates. More candidates equals more potential suitors for the job. So here I put, hi, I'm looking for an all-star appointment setter with telemarketing experience, cold calling experience at plus, must have, always have a must have a steady plus reliable internet connection, USB headphones. Why do I say USB headphones? USB headphones, when connected to a computer, will ensure a better quality connection. The tech stuff is not really talked about too much. USB connection versus wireless is going to ensure a better connection. Can't tell you how many times I've listened to people that try to make phone calls themselves and their phone wasn't properly connected. It was staticky. A lead couldn't hear them. No one's going to sit on the phone with that. English speaking and writing a must. This person must be able to speak English, obviously, if they're going to call our leads. Spanish bilingual stuff, not really talking about today. We have done that. I don't want to get too far. I'm keeping this just as simple as possible for the person that is getting ready to hire their first person. And writing, you want to have this person be able to communicate clearly with you. I like to discuss pay on the interview. I don't like to put pay in my job post. I want to find people that are interested in more than just money and are actually interested in attending an interview. Any person in the world is going to respond to a high-paying job. The quality people that are looking for a long-term work commitment are going to respond to people that have professional job posts, as I say. And I say professional, I have something funny in here in just a second. I put here, pay will be discussed on an interview. Pay increase after 30 days assessment and a 90-day probation period. So this lets someone know, hey, after 30 days working with me, long-term mindset versus short-term thinking. Short-term thinking, you're going to find someone that's going to work out for a day or two, and they're going to ghost you a week later. 30-day assessment, 90-day probation period. And I'll get into this 90-day probation period because I don't think I covered too much in my slides. We increase their pay. We give insurance benefits. When I say insurance benefits, I cover what's called, I call it three lengths. I cover their benefits for their health, their family's health, and I cover their children's health, probably way more than any other employer. And what that could look like is I have funded hearing aids for kids. I have funded braces for employees. I've helped employees buy cars. I have my team right now, they all have MacBooks that I have sent to them. And so this should inspire anyone of what you can create. However, it all starts with setting the right expectation and finding the right person. I would never recommend sending a MacBook to your brand new 30-day hire. Please don't do that. So I like to include the word, this could be anything. I say, please include the word avocado. I want to make this a little bit fun for today. I said, please include the word avocado in the subject line when replying. Why do I do that? Well, that ensures that they actually read my job post. There's a lot of people that are serial like job inquiry people, and they're just going to waste your time. So I say, please include the word avocado. This is going to find people that are actually reading your job post. The next thing I have them do, please include a video recording of yourself and your experience. Why do I do a video recording? This is going to find actual people and not recruiters. So what happens if you have them send a video recording? Now, when you do the actual video interview, I do a video interview. Now, if that person is different than the recording, you can end the interview right away. There's something shady going on and you can move on. A lot of people out there in the Philippines, as of the past couple of years, have started to, I use the word pimp out because that's what it seems like it is. They will find a bunch of people, and next thing you know, you're talking to the recruiter and you're not actually talking to the person that's going to work for you. Please don't do that. It's going to waste your time. It's going to waste your money. So I like to do a video recording of themselves, introducing themselves and their experience. I review that. Did they follow the subject line when replying? And do they meet the quality of what I'm looking for? And so also I want to state that you want to have more than one job post. I want people to think of this like fishing and have multiple lines out there. You're hiring an
So
interview.
really quick before you go back to this, one thing I want to say, everybody, is like, if you've ever hired a VA and it didn't work out before, one, drop a comment below and say, give me a 1. 2, it's because you didn't do everything he just said. So I cannot express how critical it is that you have them jump through those hoops on the initial interaction, because if not, you're going to get a bunch of people who respond and they might be flaky. You might not know who the fuck you're talking to, right? If they can't include avocado, then they're not paying attention. Like, you really want to put these hoops on, and this is how you find and get a good VA. Everything you just shared is so unbelievably critical. So I just want to double down on that, because like the video, putting in a word or whatever that might make it so they need to jump in, putting it through hoops, making sure that they've got good internet, all things that are so critical to finding and hiring someone who's actually good at this, who's gonna be able to help you take it to the next level. So go on, but I just wanted to talk about the importance of that.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. And so that leads into the hiring and interview setup. So this is something that is very crucial in how you work this process. You want to set it up with video. At this time, you can now have the candidate who has followed the proper instructions that you've set and expectations for the video interview. And what I tell them is we like to do a video interview. And this will basically set the mindset with the recruiters. Okay, I'm not even going to bother to do this. And so they're not going to waste your time is what I'm trying to do for you guys. So the interview, you want to have set questions. I'm going to show you guys the questions. I'm literally uncovering every stone. And you're going to have set questions you ask the person. You're going to set up a set time and date for the interview. And you're going to do this over Skype or Zoom. That's more of a preference for what you want to do. I know some people with Zoom's popularity like doing it. I like doing it over Skype. Interview questions and guidelines. So you want to be prepared for this interview. You don't want to go into it just winging it. Trust me from experience, this is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of headaches. I was that guy that would just try to wing it. I've been there. So, you know, Nick's talking to his audience about things like from experience as well. And we've both been there. We both have lived this stuff. And, you know, we've been in the game. Anyone that's been in the game over a year that's consistently been making revenue at whatever level you want to insert has seen the stuff that only experience they can speak about. And I want to talk about the STAR method. The STAR method is S for situation, T for task, A for action, and R for result. And this is going to be how you handle questions you ask this person. So situation is going to be an event or challenge they faced. Task is going to be for your responsibility and assignment for that situation. Action is going to be for the steps and procedures that they followed and how to handle the situation. And results or action taken from this following method. So some example STAR questions for your candidate for the job. Tell me a time when you had a conflict with your employer and how you were able to resolve it. These are questions that will commend a logical answer rather than just a yes or a no. If you are a kitchen tool, what are you and why? So these are going to get someone to think, not just, how was your last job? Oh, it was great. I liked it a lot. You know, it's not much to go off of. If one of your coworkers tells you things that you need to improve on, what do you think it would be? This is going to hold us to like what we think we could do better. Why do you think I should hire you? This is one that I really like. And this is going to get someone that really sells himself, or it's going to get someone that's confident, or you might even get someone that's super cocky. The answers are going to vary when you do this, but these are just some examples of some questions. Get started. So your training and your first week with your appointment setter. So overview for this, for training 101, I'm going to talk about the tools needed and creating a script. I think a lot of people get hung up on a script. Actually, I know a lot of people do. I can't tell you how many clients early on would tell me, well, we can't get started right now because we need to figure out the script. And we don't provide scripts to our clients. A lot of our clients will write their own script. Some of them even hire copywriters. So we've never had this attitude of like sharing scripts. I'd rather teach you guys how to create a script that will work for your industry rather than just give you the script. I think there's a lot of disservice when we just give people something that may not work for their industry. Nick and I have probably seen it with templates. Nick probably gets students of his that copy the ads exactly word for word. They don't change anything. And then they're wondering why they're not converting as well for their area.
Learn the frameworks. I scream that all the time. I talk about it 24/7. I can give you templates. I can give you things that are very likely to work, but you want to understand why it works. That's the only way to be around for a long time. If you're brand new, yes, you want to model what's working, but you want to understand why. Seek to understand. Could not agree more.
Absolutely. Software saves lives, but it's not everything. But software saves lives. So I do want to talk about this and the software needed. First, you're going to need a dialer. If you are using a CRM like Go High Level, as we call it, you have access to the dialer inside of it, and you'll need to create a lead management flow, which I will discuss in a later slide. And some other dialer options that I like to keep dialers simple. I'm not here to discuss, Go High Level and super in depth in their dialer process. I do think there's simpler versions of just a raw stripped down dialer. I like Ring Central. I like Dialpad, and I'll get into that in a little bit deeper right now. Ring Central has a mobile app, and I have had, this is going to go kind of deep right now, so I'm going to go slow. I've had employees in the Philippines lose internet connection, and I've had employees in another part of the Philippines have internet connection, but they're not home because it's not their scheduled time. And then they're making a phone call to call their client, my client's leads. Remember, we got to do this under 5 minutes, right? And they're calling our client's leads from a bus. Not ideal. I would never promote this and say, do this, but we got to get the job done. And if you're an entrepreneur, shit is always going to happen. And it's your responsibility to fix problems. Ring Central has a mobile app that allows you to call the lead. Go High Level has a mobile app as well. If you don't have the mobile app, what are you going to do? What I like about Ring Central and Dialpad is they are an affordable option and they are a raw, stripped down version. And I just talked about another thing that I did not include in the slide. If you are building an appointment setter team, I would recommend having people in different parts of the Philippines. I call that layering. Layering is when you have multiple employees in different parts. That way, if one employee loses connection, you still have another employee that can fulfill the workload. That's something more at scale, but I did want to mention that. Loom. Loom is a great resource and tool. This will be used to record videos. You can create folders for the videos. As you teach your employees and you share these videos with them, you'll give them access to review it. So you don't need to keep on repeating instructions. Cascade. Cascade checklist for what needs to be done. Cascade is a checklist application. Cascade will allow you to create a checklist for things that you need to do. Cascade will allow your employees to mark it up, and then you can create daily instructions for each one of your employees. Calendly. Calendly, simple, reliable. There's a lot of calendar softwares out there that they complicate this, they do this and that. What I like about Calendly is how simple it is and what you can do with it. Calendar booking widget link inside of Go High Level as well, if properly set up and you have it set up with the proper automation and things like that, also will serve. This is where I do like automation in the terms of reminding them of their appointment. They've agreed to an appointment and now they're getting reminders. This is huge, and this probably will solve most people's trust issues There's a lot of people out there. We all have trust issues. And, do we trust our client? Do we trust our employee? Do we trust ourselves? Are we second guessing ourselves? So in the terms of trusting our employees, this will solve almost 90% of your trust issues. Time management software. If you want an affiliate for this, I have one as well. Just a little quick shout out. Time Doctor. Time Doctor I've used for over 2 years now. This is huge and will be used to monitor your employees' time and how to keep track of their hours. Some people use Hubstaff. I like Time Doctor and their user interface, their UI. Your employees must understand you will be monitoring their time and using time tracking software. Any employee who does not consent to this or creates issues with this, you want to move on from ASAP. If they give you shit about Time Doctor slowing their computer or Time Doctor being an issue, move on. Don't waste your time. Don't argue with them. Let them know, hey, this is a requirement in order to work for me. If they're not okay with that, move on. Save yourself time. Time Doctor is my preferred choice. You can keep track of your employees' hours at the end of the week. You can total them up for how many hours they have. As you move along, it eventually will just be a resource to keep track of the hours. After an employee is with me for a year or two, I'm not checking their screenshots. I'm not, worried. Are they working? Are they not? I can tell based on the number of appointments and based on dials if they're actually working. Those are some of the things also that I'll talk about.
There's two sides to this as well, because not everyone, my business partner, for example, you can feel a little awkward doing this, but do it. That's all I gotta say is just do it. Whether you feel comfortable doing it or not, you want to do it. It's really important just to keep people accountable. As much as I would love to say that all employees and humans are perfect human beings that want to do what's best, you'd be shocked, observing human behavior and what they do on a day-to-day basis. So I just want to double down on this. Time Doctor is a great one. We've used Hubstaff a lot, but Time Doctor, it doesn't matter necessarily what you use. Just do it, whether you feel comfortable or not. And yeah, if the employee has a problem with it, then move on quickly. There's plenty of people who can help you out in this role.
Yep. Something that I didn't talk about, and I do apologize, I did not add the slide, so I'll talk about it real briefly. Do not pay employees in advance. Anyone that asks you for money in advance, red flag. Pay your people weekly or bi-weekly. I like to do weekly. People like to see the money that they're working for. We use what's called Remitly when we're paying employees. Like I said, I do apologize if you do not have this slide, and I know it would be beneficial. We use Remitly when we're paying our employees. PayPal gets thrown around loosely. PayPal takes money from you, the employer, and they actually take money from your employee. It's kind of fucked up if you ask me. Sorry for cursing, but they're taking money from both ends, and they hold the money from your employee. So you pay on Friday, they may not be able to access it till Monday, which to me is just dirty.
Don't use PayPal. That's my record for that. The only thing you should ever use PayPal for is sending money, but make sure you send it friends and family to each other. And even then, Venmo is better. PayPal can go fuck itself. It's okay to swear. I don't know how it's the biggest. It's the biggest pile of fucking shit ever. I've never seen more issues with holding money, keeping money, and just reserves and shutting accounts down. And fuck PayPal.
What's funny, and I don't know if you know this, Nick, but PayPal owns Venmo.
Do they? Well, then they got a monopoly on everything. Venmo, I just meant shooting stuff back and forth. Yeah. That's all I use PayPal for. When you're doing anything business related, do not use PayPal. I do not recommend it. I don't even want to accept it. I understand that there's some people accept it on courses, things like that, but try and get at least Stripe on there for accepting payments. And when you're doing them, Remitly can be good. I think we're using Gusto. I'm not sure what we're using right now, but yeah, just don't use PayPal. Listen to things we said.
Yeah, don't use PayPal. Remitly is going to cost you $3 to $4 to send the money. Your people are going to get it instantly. They can pick it up at a preferred location, pawn shops, cash check-in places, or you can create a direct bank transfer to where it goes directly to their bank and then they see it in their bank account. So do that weekly. I wouldn't do it monthly. If you want to do it bi-weekly, that's fine. I wouldn't do it monthly, and I would not pay your people in advance. CRM management workflow. 0 to 100 really quick. And so what this is going to look like. So you are running Facebook ads or YouTube ads, Google ads, or a website that generates a lead. What's going to happen next, and this is literally, I'm taking back the curtain for our whole framework and how we do this. That lead goes onto a spreadsheet. From there, that lead is sent to a shared email account that you and your VA or appointment setter have access to. So here's an example subject line for that email. Zapier is what you're using to do this. Anyone that understands the tech side of this. So what's happening is Zapier is receiving the lead from Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Zapier is then firing that to an email account. The subject of the email, for the example here, I said, new lead, Rick's Roofing. You then can customize the inside of the spreadsheet using Zapier. Zapier then fires the lead to a Google Sheet. That Google Sheet is titled Rick's Roofing. The lead info in the email includes name, email, phone address, other criteria, age of the roof, scope of the appointment, maybe their credit score if they put it there, like an optional question. And then that info is then ciphered over to the Google Sheet. So Google Sheet will have a column for each of these fields and should be mapped accordingly. Fill your client's calendar. So this is the appointment call center flow, just a little bit repeating myself here. New lead comes in, notification sent to email and Google Sheet. Your appointment setter has the script on the screen, your client's calendar available on the screen. So availability on the screen. You don't want to have them click in. All of a sudden, it takes a while to see the client's schedule. It's open before they make the phone call. So they're making the phone call, the script's on one part of the screen. Your client's availability or your availability for your Calendly or your Acuity or your Go High Level, whatever you're using, schedule once, that availability is up. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people that said, oh, I couldn't load the calendar software, and they had a lead on the phone that was interested and they couldn't book the appointment. So you want to have calendar already loaded, script on the screen. You don't want to be stumbling over your words. You're going to call the lead and you're going to follow the script. You're going to book the appointment and confirm the time based on your client's calendar. So, and then you're going to end the call. And then you book the appointment in the calendar. So you don't book the appointment and enter all their information while you're still on the phone with them, and then all of a sudden they're not hearing from you. You're booking the appointment after you set the appointment. So you can click on the time, 3:30. All right, 3:30, and in just a moment, you're going to receive a notification about your appointment. End the call, type in their information, book the appointment. Script building.
Guys, really quick. This is insane. I didn't realize you were like, this is freaking unbelievable, James, what you're giving here. Like, guys, if you're still tracking with me here, let James know. Give a one. If we've had a bunch of people on this whole time, James, but this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, we're literally getting super in depth. Look at this. No fluff, purely actionable items. Getting the lead flow. How did these appointments? I mean, this is everything you need. Like, so this is just incredible, man. I was gonna say, I'm freaking pumped up. Now let's get into the fun part, the script building stuff. But this is freaking incredible, man.
Yeah, I'm getting some water right now. Just give me 1 second.
You're good. So I will talk for a moment then. So essentially, guys, up to this point, we've talked about recruiting. We've talked about how to, really make sure you find a good individual. We've talked about lead flows, workflows, some really cool ninja tactics that can utilize in order to actually bring on a good VA, because having good VAs and everything we're talking about here doesn't just apply to your appointment setters with VAs. That's another thing. I know that's the concept of this call, but everything that we talked about in regards to how you hire, where you hire, this can go for your VA for anything, whether you're building fulfillment or whether you're building Facebook ads campaigns, doesn't matter. We're all following the same type of purpose. So these strategies, these things that we're talking about here can be utilized for different types of VAs. And when you can get some good VAs on your team, holy moly, they make your life a million times easier if you train them properly, get them up to go. But with that being said, I'll turn back over to you, man, and let's talk about some scripts.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and you talked about framework framework, I feel like was the buzzword in 2020 or 2019 as well. Systems and frameworks, right? Nick and I have been around long enough that there's always been a buzzwords. What we're creating here, and I want to talk about from a mindset overview, is you are creating something to allow someone to plug into that they can follow simple instructions, almost like an and, if, or that. So if it's this situation, do this. If it's this, say that. And that also comes out into your script building. So I say script building, and I do want to talk about objection stuff as well in a little bit. So script building, I kept this super, 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 super simple. I don't want to overcomplicate this and people to think about all these crazy complex scripts and, I'm the ultimate closer and I schedule all my appointments, all this, crap that's meaningless and it's just, coffee talk. And it really, what's important is to keep it simple. I can tell you any day of the week, I will out my team with a slow internet connection. When I say slow, 5 to 10 Mbps. I'm running 150 right now. 5 to 10 Mbps over in the Philippines will outwork any day of the week. Susie in the office in an air-conditioned building with 100 plus Mbps. She's studying the best scripts in the world to call for Dr. Johnson, and she never makes the call. I want to give a quick shout out to our friend and one of your clients, Preston Schmidtley. Preston and I had a conversation a while back, and we talked about the people that sharpened their tools back in the caveman days. And the cavemen that sharpened their tools over and over again were the ones who starved. The ones that went out there and hunted are the ones that ate. And so I want to equate that to calling leads. The people that overthink what to say on the phone and are writing out their script over and over again and practicing with their friends in the corner versus the person that calls the lead, guess who's going to get the appointment? My team with 5 to 10 Mbps all day long will get the appointment and have a little bit of an accent maybe, or maybe they stumble over their word or two if it's something that they aren't sure about, if it's an interesting campaign. They will beat any day of the week and call more leads than any American I'll put up against.
100%. I want to jump into this. This is so true. And this applies to every area of your life, guys. There's a great general, and I talk about this inside the Forge program. You probably heard me talk about it last week, James, but there's a great general out there who said, if you wait until you have 100% of the information, you've already lost. And so you need to be able to make decisions and make moves with 40 to 70%. Once you have an outline, once you have some coherent idea of what you're doing, you need to just go. And I was actually just talking about this literally with a client with a client like an hour and a half ago, is like, you can have the best plan in the world, but everyone's got a great plan until they get punched in the mouth, the little Mike Tyson quote. So cannot agree with this more. Just do. Massive execution is the cure-all. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Execution trumps knowledge every single day of the week. It's something I preach, I live by, I love, and I want to double down on that point. Cannot agree more. Don't overcomplicate this shit. Make the fucking dials, right? Like, the reason why our clients suck so bad at this stuff is because they just don't even make the dials, like, at all. Right? Can you build better scripts? Of course you can. Can you get articulate with it? Yes. But the only way to do that is to start making calls and see how the scripts go. Your original script goes,
Yep. And anyone that's listening or watches this, I can tell you that I have been there, and I'm sure Nick has as well. I don't want to put words in his mouth because he's extremely focused. But myself speaking, I have been there where I overthink things. This presentation probably could have been done last week, and I asked Nick for an extra week. And really, it was, what do I say? What do I do? This and that. So I've been there. I get it. But I can tell you, when it comes to script building, keep it simple right here. And so the intro, who you are. Hi, this is James, your mortgage specialist. I'll focus on mortgage here just for a second. Do we have some scripts that sound better than this? Absolutely. For you guys today, I just want to keep it simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things. You want to state the purpose of your call. I am calling because you were on our Facebook page and had filled out some information. You just filled out some information on Facebook. Their computer may still be open to that page if you're calling these people in a fast manner. You want to confirm their lead info. I see here that you're looking for, and then you're confirming their information. You're looking for a mortgage of $300,000. I'm going to show you an actual example on the next screen. Your client's availability. Our mortgage specialist, our roofing specialist is available and then you want to give 2 options or 2 different days. I like to give 2 options for the next day rather than be like, oh, I have Tuesday or Thursday. I like to do that with, I have morning or afternoon. Which one is better for you? Are you more of a morning person? No, actually, afternoon's going to be better. Okay, well, great. I have 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Which one would you prefer? 3 o'clock sounds about right. All right, great. And then you book the appointment. Make sure the time is available when booking. You don't want to have to call someone back to reschedule because you accidentally set a time that's not available, which is why you have the calendar open in front of you. You do not want to have to call someone. I'm going to repeat this again. You do not want to call someone to repeat or change a time. They're going to cancel on you. They're going to lose faith in you because now you're calling to reschedule something because you made a mistake. Don't do it. Here's a script example I wrote for you guys here. I'm just going to read through this real quick. Everyone, as me and Nick mentioned, everyone wants a magical script. The truth is you do not need one. Keep it simple, as they say. Speed and the amount of times you call will beat the best script out there in inconsistent calling. You know, people may start off really good, then all of a sudden they're back to their old ways, right? We're creatures of habit. People start off really good. They start off in the course, all of a sudden they disappear. Nick's probably seen it time and again. Same thing with clients. Clients are calling leads for a day or two and they're on it. A week later, they're back to their old ways. Keep it simple. Take action. Hi, Nick. I'm going to keep this with Nick, and I'm just going to read it. I'm not going to try to sound salesy with this. Hi, Nick. This is James. I am calling because you were just on our Facebook page a minute ago. You're calling fast, remember. And have requested some information on our teacher's mortgage program, and I wanted to confirm some information. I see here you're looking for a $200,000 mortgage, and you're looking to buy in the next 1 to 2 months. Is this correct? We're trying to get them to say yes. This is going to help increase their appointment booking rate as well. You pause and you let them answer. Yeah, that's correct. Great. I want to confirm a few other responses. I see that your email is james@gmail and your phone number is 12345. Is this the best number to reach you? Yep, that's correct. Okay, great. What I would like to do is set up a time. I want to be fast and to the point. Okay, great. What I'd like to do is set up a time when our mortgage specialist, I always say specialist or expert, whatever we can to just differentiate than mortgage broker, realtor. Everyone's heard of that term. Our realtor specialist, our realtor expert, our local realtor guide, all that stuff is saying the same thing. So, but I like to use the word specialist. When our mortgage specialist, Nik Robbins, will have a call with you. Now, Mike, client example's name, or Nick, I say Mike. Nick has availability on Monday at 3 or 5 p.m. Which one works best for you? We've got 2 options right there. Okay, 3 p.m. Okay, great. What I'm going to do is get this scheduled. You should receive a text reminder in a little bit. I always say a little bit just in case the automation doesn't fire off or in case there might be something that they, rather than saying right away, and then all of a sudden they're looking at their phone and they don't get anything. We look forward to talking with you on Monday at 3 p.m. Bye-bye. And then I go and then I schedule the appointment. I don't know, Nick, if you had anything you wanted to say to that. If not, I'm going to do on the next
No, I think it's beautiful. We use the term specialist as well. Literally, this is it, right? And this is why, and I want one of the things that, a belief pattern that I'm sure a lot of people feel right now is they probably don't think that they have the skill set or the talent to hire an appointment setting team for their clients. And what I mean by that is it seems like a complex thing to do to be able to book the appointment, stuff like that. But in reality, it really isn't. Now, if you get 100 clients, is there complexity? Of course, there's a lot of fucking complexity, right? But like you scale up to that. You don't start with that overnight. You start with one client, one VA, and you book some appointments using very simple scripts. Everything else we said prior, making sure you get the right people on, putting them through the hoops, making sure that you've got the time tracking, making sure that you've got the training and onboarding set up, making sure that you know that they're going to need your help the first couple of weeks. After that, it's just all, it's rocking and rolling. It's all very possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and we are in the home stretch a little bit. So the next stage we move into is the implement and monitoring. This next part is just repeats of the stuff you're already having them doing. It's heavy loaded on the front end, and on the back end, it becomes implementing, monitoring, reviewing, and assessing. So this is time to breathe a little bit and review performance. How many calls are getting made hourly, daily, and weekly is going to be your checkup with your person. You're going to have the booked appointments reviewed and listen to them with your setter. What you measure grows or gets improved. The data does not lie. The devil is in the details, as I've heard before. Your assessment and your action plan. Your assessment, create a training approach and plan for your VA or your appointment setter. Give them background on your company, your action plan, create a new hire training plan and material. This will help as a training guide for what your virtual assistant and appointment setter can expect. Create material for your virtual assistant and appointment setter and train them with that. So as they're working with you, you're going to train them and they're going to grow. A lot of it, they're going to start off by doing, and then they're going to grow with you. Performance management. Like I said, this stuff I cover briefly because a lot of
numbers and data. I'm not going to cover it briefly. I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. Numbers, data, track all your fucking numbers. Anybody who comes to me as a consulting client, if we don't have numbers and data, the first thing that I tell you to do is, well, you need to start tracking your numbers and data. How can I help you with your prospecting? How can I help you improve your processes if we don't know what it is? The most dangerous thing you can do as a marketer is base your shit off feelings. We have too many fucking feelings going on in this country, in this world right now. Base your shit off data. Right? Like you don't want to, oh, it feels like I'm doing this, right? I was talking to someone the other day and like, oh, it feels like my cost per acquisition is super high. And I'm like, okay, well, what is it? I don't know. It's like, well, what do you mean you don't know? Like, sorry, I get fired up about data and numbers because if I could go back to myself 5 years ago, there's a lot I would teach myself. But the number one thing that I might share with myself is pay better attention to the numbers, pay better attention to the data, and make your decisions based off the numbers and the data. Like that is like one of the biggest lessons that was a struggle for me because I'm very much like, well, let's just fucking sell and we're going to make money on the back end and all that stuff type of guy. But like now most of my life is spent looking at numbers and it's all made decisions based off looking at data. So anyways, I had to interrupt there because
we have a saying that my assistant came up with. I'm probably going to butcher it right now, but we say data has no emotions or feelings. Mm-hmm. Data is going to tell you how someone's performing. In the case of this is for hiring an appointment setter. I don't want to get too sidetracked with other stuff for data, but for when hiring someone, if they're only calling a couple times per an hour and they're feeding you a whole bunch of stuff about how they're the best person ever, you need to move on. That person is lying. When someone lies to me once, that's it. I don't give second chances, especially when it comes to lying. Now, if you're struggling performance-wise, I'm working with you. I'm helping you, and you're asking me for help all day long. We just hired a new girl straight out of high school. She's brand new to this. She's already scheduled appointments within her second day of working with us. We have her on one campaign only, rather than trying to have her manage all of our clients. And she's telling me, you know, hey, I'm sure, I'm not sure if I'm confident 100% in all the campaigns yet, but I'm getting there. She's being honest with herself. I'll put that all day long versus someone that thinks they're the shit and they're lying to themselves and to their employer.
Oh yeah. Get rid of liars ASAP. We always tell people like, I don't even want you to lie to me about missing a day because you're hungover. Just tell me you're hungover. Like, let's go. Like, you know, I can accept that. We're big boys here, you know, couldn't agree more. And it is. Data is a way to make emotionless decisions. And especially in something like this, where it's super duper easy to one, set up the numbers and two, monitor the data. You got to do it. And here's another thing that I always think about. And I say all the time, and I bet my business partners, he's big on data as well, but like, he's probably sick of me saying this by now. Fortunately, he's not here. Here's the thing. Absent any other changes, simply measuring data will improve performance. And I'm going to say that one more time. Absent any other changes, simply measuring data will improve performance. Okay. And so what that means is simply knowing that you're being tracked is going to improve the performance. And this is in every aspect of life, guys. You want to lose weight, track your food calories, right? Like, and you will literally lose weight if you're tracking your calories just by measuring it. So you don't even need to change anything, just measuring your shit. I measure obsessively every area of my life to a point where people would probably think I'm psychotic, but it helps improve every area of my life. And so anyway, we could talk for numbers and data forever. Just do it, have data, have numbers, and make your decisions off of them.
And just to, you know, kind of close that thought a little bit, we track everything from every niche and every campaign, and it takes time. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's an overnight matter. It's a monthly responsibility from one of my girls. It may take her a couple hours every week, and then at the end of the month, she compiles it all. However, it tells me where we're sitting at with booked appointments for any niche. It tells me where we're sitting at for how many leads we've called for every client, how many follow-ups, what number of follow-up do we set the most appointments at. All that stuff It creates an overview, and I'll be straightforward. I don't even look at it all but probably once a month. My team manages, they look at it. We show all of our clients the data, and I guarantee, not even guarantee, I know 100% it has helped my retention by showing clients the data. How many leads they generated, how many booked appointments, how many missed calls, how many wrong numbers. Don't tell me that when I tell a client, hey, 5% of the leads you sent us had incorrect phone numbers, that doesn't play a part into their logic of thinking, okay, well, that makes sense why they didn't book that. Like, because clients will have illogical theories that they think they schedule 90% of their appointments. Like, just really, really illogical theories that make zero sense. I can't tell you how many clients that have been with me long term. And when I first was starting them with a discovery call, I would ask them about how many percentage of appointments are you booking right now? We're usually around like 90 to 100. Your 90 to 100% booked appointment. Well, unfortunately, I'm unable to help you. Like, we're not going to be a 90%. So internal processes are huge. Call reviews and time doctor screenshots as well. Based on what Nick and I were just talking about, and like I said, this is kind of like the little last bit of this presentation. Listening to call recordings for performance reviews, lead response time, all this stuff matters. Lead follow-up, the number of follow-ups you're doing. You're giving the data, appointments booked versus lead generated, and then you divide the number, and then you can create a percentage of booked appointments. Feedback and review. And so with your appointment setter, this is kind of like the toward the end of the month, you're going to give them feedback. You're giving your 30-day assessment. You're reviewing their performance. You're going in depth. Since you now have more information to go off at this point versus just what they tell you, now you can actually review their performance. Is this person worth keeping in your company? Should you start looking to hire someone new? Feedback given at 30 days and 90 days. This, of course, can be done sooner. If all is followed properly, you will not need to give feedback every single day. Trust me, you don't want to be that employer that's giving feedback every single day. I was that employer. You get stuck on a lot of phone calls. You seem like this helicopter boss. You've all heard the word helicopter mom, always hovering over their kids. You become this helicopter boss versus letting your employee work. Assessment and action plan. 30-day and 90-day action plan timelines of what is expected for your appointment setter, performance review, and possible pay increases as well, bonus based on performance. 30-day review, I like to treat as an official welcome aboard type call. 90-day review is mostly pay increases and extra benefits. I talked before, I do a lot for my employees. I did not include this in the presentation, but once you have worked for me for 2 years or more, I give 1,000%, not 1,000%, I give $1,000 0% interest loan. That means if one of my employees comes to me and they want $1,000 for whatever reason, I give it to them at 0% interest, which means I make nothing. I lose money because now I don't have that cash. I make nothing off of it. I give it to my employee. I have funded girls to buy laptops for their kids so their kids could do Zoom school last year. I funded a girl to get a down payment for her car and to get braces for the first time in her life so she can improve her teeth. They pay me back monthly, 20, 50 bucks, and guess what? You find the right people in your business, and this is the inspiration right here. Not one person has asked me for $1,000, 200, 300. They don't want to take advantage. True employees, they don't want to take advantage of your kindness. And guess what? I found that they want to be able to pay back what they borrowed. They don't want just a bonus or a gift. They actually want to be able to pay and feel responsible for the money that they receive from you. So anyone that's watching this, that is my goal for you. If you hire someone, outsource wherever you're at. I'm focusing on the Philippines right now. Some people know that I live in Colombia. We are doing stuff in Colombia. That's a whole nother thing I'll probably talk to Nick about for a future date. Right now, I'm keeping it simple. I want you guys to take action. I don't want you to overthink, where should I find the people? Where should I go? What should I say? What should I do? Follow this rubric and format, and you will have people for your business. So kind of in closing, if you think you need additional help, I'm available. Use me for a resource. We have been there. My team has been there. And we have seen every nook and cranny of what can happen when growing and scaling an appointment setting team, which is why I want to make myself and my team available and be used as an additional resource in making out this journey. So right now, we currently have a program that's 6 weeks long that walks you through all of this. We hold your hand. We are on one-on-one calls with you. I make myself available, my team available for these calls. And this program is designed in a done with you format. Very, very, very white glove, hand holding type program. We also have our appointments at an agency as well. If you have a specific client that you're like, hey, you know what, I don't want to learn all this, but I have a client that needs this today, we do that right now. We work with many clients doing that. We've been doing that now for 2 years. Please send me a message or add me on here, and I'll send you my calendar based on your needs, as well as my book. Anyone that wants a copy of my book, shoot me a message as well. We got some people that maybe Nick recognizes, Bobby there, and some other people. And
and honestly, if you want to give me your link to either your Facebook group. I know you've got a Facebook group as well, right? And then, or if your calendar, we can drop that in the chat and make sure people can get in. But yeah, reach out to James, guys. I highly recommend. I know a lot of people who have worked with him. As he said, I've referred a lot of people to him over the years. That's why I wanted him to come in and do a training, right? And this was amazing for what you gave. This was incredible. If you guys are at the point where you're looking to be able to increase your retainers massively, if you're sick and tired of clients saying the leads suck and not calling the leads, then James is a guy you want to get with, who you want to talk to, at least have a conversation with. I'm going to go ahead and put the scheduler right now in the chat. And again, you can talk with him. He's got a few different options how he helps people as well. So I'm sure it's a no pressure call or anything like that, but I would definitely recommend jumping on a call with him and seeing if you want to learn more, if you want to take this to the next level and really get this thing going, whether on the done for you side or the done with you side. There's some great opportunities there. And I mean, I've seen them work firsthand. That's why he's here. And as you guys can see, this literally gave away a ton of amazing information today, man. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Happy to help.
You got it. All right, James. Well, with that being said, dude, yeah, like I said, this was incredible, a wealth of information. People, you guys will want to rewatch some of this stuff. Make sure you book a call with James if you're interested in learning more. And with that being said, dude, I really appreciate you jumping on, man. We'll be talking soon.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
All right, take care, brother. Bye-bye.